Broadcaster only. Editor details. Got something in mind. Hey, it is me, Wanda B, and you are listening to the sound of Frankie Parker. Peace, love, and wine. I love that song. You're listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. Another week, we're back. Hey, happy to see you all. If you're on Facebook, share it, please. You can also listen to us on IntellectualRadio.com. You can listen on iHeart. We're an iHeart radio station. You can watch us on YouTube, listen on Spreaker, check us out on iTunes. However you listen, I appreciate it all the time. I think Facebook hasn't started yet. It said it's going to begin in a moment. So pick it up in a moment. I'm sure you'll chime in when you see it, but you can always go to IntellectualRadio.com or YouTube and watch us there. So my boy Inyatu, my right-hand man to my left, he's not here today, but look who I got with me. Okara Holland, thank you for filling in for Inyatu.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right. I hope you feel better, Inyatu. And the beautiful Valencia.
Hello.
They make up the He Said, She Said team. You guys, I want you to come out. We're going to do He Said, She Said live next Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up, October 18th at room 183. It's 4167 183rd in Country Club Hills, 8 o'clock. You come out. We're going to do what we do here. We're going to do it live in Country Club Hills. They're going to be talking about cuffing season. We're going to bring up some other topics, but people are serious about getting cuffed. It's getting cold, and they're trying to make sure they've made their connections.
Get your snuggle on.
Get your snuggle on, right? And the rules to it. So today we are talking about, let's talk about sex, baby. You and me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll lead a singing to y'all.
Thank you. I'll call on salt and pepper. So that is our topic for today. And as always, we love for you to join our group, He Said, She Said. These topics come up through the week, and a lot of times what we do, we'll take some of the topics that come up through the week, the ones that spark a lot of interest or get people going, we tend to continue to talk about. So what? Why you give it to me? It's not moving. All right, continue to listen. And as always, you can listen on watch us on IntellectualRadio.com. You can view us on, and for you Facebook people, I'm going to start this all over again, and you can watch us because acting funny. It's acting funny. I paid my bill, y'all. AT&T, don't play with me. I paid my bill. Don't act like I didn't. And you can always call in too, 708-223-8953, and join our topics and conversation. I appreciate you all the time.
YouTube live.
YouTube live. You can watch us on YouTube. Looking at me right now, so we started another Facebook for the people. So if you were listening on IntellectualRadio.com, you heard us say that we are talking about. Okay. So is it working now? It's not working right? Is it working right? Okay. So one of the topics, let's bring up what our dear Okara brought to the table. The topic that
Why you got to put my name on
I got to put your name behind it. Yeah, this is about him. No, I'm joking, y'all. I'm not joking. I think you did you? Everybody gave one, so we'll all claim one. I probably have something to say about them all. Is this the good one? This is the good live. To redo the broadcast, I didn't turn the other one off yet. So if you're just tuning in on Facebook, please join our conversations. We're going to be talking about the 3-letter word that shouldn't mean as much as it does in a relationship, but oh yes, it should, I guess. That can change everything. So what if you're in a relationship and some kinks? They have some kinky sexual habits. And one of these topics is from you, Stezo. So I'm going to bring up the one we brought up on your show. So you can put up that link to that conversation, Stezo Johns from Stezo Radio. So kinky sexual habits, do they have a negative effect on relationships when your partner doesn't share or have that same kink? They're not into the same kinks that you are. Can that impact your relationship? So I would think it probably depends on how drastic that
that kink is.
that kink is. So what are you really into? You want me to dress up like a girl? Do you want him to dress like a girl? And she's like, I ain't feeling that. So what do you guys think? Can that have an impact on your relationship?
So obviously, depending on the severity of it, depending on how the other person, like I've had some people tell me some weird things that happened. Like I've had a girl tell me that one time she was dating a guy and he wanted her to strap on, and she felt a certain kind of way about it, and I was like, unless you have something like, really, really against it, and you will just look at them differently. Maybe you should do it. You just never know. But it just depends how somebody may look at you.
I think I agree to some degree. I think that you never know what other people, they may say, hey, I'll try it. Maybe we have some what do they call the people that'll try anything? Trisexuals.
Is that what it is? Well, I'll be one of those.
You try it.
I will, yes, try anything within the realms of my, some people like to invite third parties. That's where my
that's where you're trying.
Trying ends there. But within the relationship, honey child, please.
I think if you're in a relationship, you should try. I think, especially if you want me to stay committed, if you want a monogamous relationship with that person and they have some things they're into, and if you're not into it, fine, don't get in a relationship with them though. I think don't start a relationship with somebody and you're not into that kink and you tell them you can't have that the rest of your life. And now, will you marry me? You're not gonna.
But do everybody let that kink out early? How early does the real kinky kink come out?
Everybody lets out the real severe abnormal kink in the beginning. No, I really don't, because
what's some severe kink? Y'all tell me on Facebook. Your mama not watching. My daddy may be watching. I'm not talking about none of this with me, Dad. This is what my listeners want to hear.
All of that type of stuff. What is it? S&M? Whatever. I think that can be severe depending on what type you like.
Okay.
But the one thing I will tell women is that for most men, if not all men, once you get to a point where you like having sex a certain kind of way, scratch that itch.
So don't introduce something that you don't want to continue.
I'm saying this. So let's just say if previous girlfriend had sex a certain way and I really, really like it. We broke up, whatever it is, and then I meet somebody else. The yearning is going to be is that I could be able to have sex that way. And so if you are faced, or if you start to, date a guy and he lets you in on some stuff, if you value him, relationship is concerned, and you think he's a good guy, you could do is try it. Because if you don't, that itch is going to always want to be scratched.
Interesting.
Whether he, gets to the point where he cheats on you or leave you because you can't, but you just have to know that it's scratched, especially if he got to the point where he actually expressed it to you.
I think so. I agree too. If he expressed it, that's something you have to acknowledge and make a determination about. So I think some people don't believe in having oral sex. I remember I was on a show here. We have a show here, Kinky Conversations. And on that show, a lady said that she has told her husband no oral sex. And I thought to myself, I wonder, is he getting it from somewhere else? She felt not. But I think I would wonder. I don't want to say, during that show, I was like, when she was like, oh no, he is faithful and he don't do it. And I was thinking, because if you've had it done before, can you turn that off? Like Okara said, once you've had that and you like it, do you say, well, I love her that much, I'm never going to do that again?
Is said that to me, I'm like, we can only be friends.
She the friend zone. You the friend zoned her.
You just got in the friend zone. I met that girl and we were talking, and somehow it came up, and she was like, "She don't do that." I said, "Oh yeah, we could only."
You think
Like,
you saying goodbye in the back of your head right there?
I wouldn't even
Last
date you.
date.
I just told her I wouldn't even date you. I don't even want your number.
Don't even give me your number.
Don't even
I'm
waste
good.
my time.
Don't waste my
I'm
time.
good.
Toussaint Werner said, who is a friend of our show. He's going to be here October 29th. That's going to be a
What up,
hot
Tou?
one. I mean, I got to turn on my thinking cap. I'm going to put it on and tie it up October 29th when he and Tiffany come through the door. So he says women can't go backwards financially. Men can't go backwards sexually.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a very good point.
Trying to tell y'all.
But I think so why do men, if a woman says I won't do this, why do some men still agree to that? Like you said, you say no. Why do men agree to it?
Selfish.
Thinking they can change her, thinking they can bring
Not
her
necessarily
around.
thinking they could change it, but probably thinking, you know what, I'll get it somewhere else. So let's just say you meet a woman and you just think that she has a lot of value as a person, as a good woman, whatever. And you may not want to give up all that she brings just because of one thing. You may feel like I could always go get it somewhere else, or maybe it just won't be that big of an issue. You know, some guys probably just go get it somewhere else.
Or really do think in the moment when you're in love, you really think you can live without it. You think you can just come on in. We're going to do this a little bit different. We're going to be totally right here. Oh, totally unorthodox because this he said, she said, and I'm going to do it the way. So we have some more guests coming in that are joining us on this topic. As soon as they come through the door, they're like walking around outside. So I think sex is so, you like to think it's like a minor part of the relationship and that's like shallow to not be with somebody over these things. And I think I hear that in our group often, that someone says it shouldn't mean that much in the relationship.
Why is sex so important though?
And you mentioned that.
Why, yeah, you know, because I've been thinking and I still can't come up with an answer. Like, why is sex so important?
Come on in. Okay, like I said, I'm doing it a little bit different. We're not going to take a break. I'm just going to bring my friends right in. We are adding to the show. We got Mita Vane. Hello, Miss Mita. She's an actress and we've acted in many plays together.
Minute.
My fellow thespian. Yeah. Yes. And the comedian L. Williams.
What's happening?
Hey, join us in the. Okay, so what we're talking about, and if you're just joining us on Facebook, I'll tell you too. We're talking about sex, baby. All things sex in a relationship.
That's what me and Mita was just talking about.
We were.
Yeah, we just
Where y'all coming? Where y'all coming
door.
from?
We were in the alley talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all need to tell us something more? No. Okay. No. Okay.
That's
good.
Not to be told.
Okay. So what we were talking about is kinky sexual habits and your partner not sharing those same habits that you have, and can a relationship work when they're into something? They like to beat you with a whip, call you their grandmother's name. Can you like go, I could do that? Or is that like something you just can't get with?
The relationship only works if there are respectful lies in place.
Respectful lies.
Yes, respectful lies.
Explain a respectful lie. I did tell you he was a comedian, right? Book him for your.
You did say that.
I think Mita's going to tell you that we're not on camera, so I don't know how to fix that. But anyway, respectful lies are basically, can't get with your freaky habits. I'm not with, because some women like to play with niggas' booty holes. I'm not with any of that. Stay out my ass. Now, in the event you have a side nigga somewhere, you want to play his booty hole, he's cool with that. Lie to me. Over there and twiddly-dee in dude's butt. But I'm not going. And as long as I don't know what's going on, and until I catch you, and if I ever catch you, and if I never catch you, our relationship is happy. Now.
Oh, wow.
It's happy until you find out. As long as you don't know, you're happy. Okay.
If I'm saying and vice versa, because
I was going to say it's safe to say that he feels.
There are a lot of men who are respectful liars. We have plenty of happy homes out here where the men are in the streets and they have women that they do serve. The Italian mafias call them their goombas. You ever watch the mafia movies? It'd be like my Goomba is, she's tripping. That was a side chick on the side, the cute girl. They did all the nasty stuff too, and they put in a nice apartment somewhere.
It was before we came up with side pieces. It was
Goomba.
Maybe they still use that in that culture. Is I can't say the word. Say it for me. Yes, thank you.
Goomba.
Goomba. Okay, we can't see L. We're gonna work that out for you all. See, super producer, what I tell you. You said you had it all worked out for me. So, you all keep this going 1 second while I fit L in.
Well, I just would like to just actually, I appreciate the honesty of the whole, because that was kind of like a piece of the question that we had in the group about the happy home. And then we were confused because I said, is that really happy if you still have to go somewhere else? Like, are we redefining?
Answer that for me, guys. I'm going to read some of the questions. Thank you. Nemi Ward is tuning in. Our N-Dot. She's a lovable member of our team. So appreciate you for chiming in. She said, are you obligated to try new sexual things to keep a relationship? Obligated?
No. Obligated. It would be in your best interest.
It would be in your best. Yeah. If you value the person that you're with.
If you're trying to make,
it'd be in your best interest. I mean, if with him going to get it somewhere else and for lie as it was so.
But how do you even know what you like or don't like if you've never tried something?
Exactly.
I've never tried anal in my butt.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I'm not.
That's because he has this pre-notion and he has defined that by something that a certain culture had to take snippets out of the sexual world to be able to accomplish sex. Mm-hmm. And we have made that dirty and nasty because that's the only way that they do it.
No, I mean, we haven't made it anything. It's just gay.
But you know
that's what we made it.
But you know that it's proven that, right? That a man's G-spot is by his prostate, right? Right there. So, I mean, you could like it. A finger, maybe.
Are you scared that you may like it? Not you personally. Yeah. Are men afraid that they don't want to try it because they're afraid they might like it?
Yeah.
Look,
y'all just saw the way she looked at me just now. She looked at me like, come on, fam. Just one time.
I promise you won't go back. Let's just try it. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Just say it. Just sneak on in there, like, and you like it. Don't be ashamed.
Right.
Right. Be scared to ask for a repeat.
I remember one time being at work. And we were talking about that very subject. It was a group of guys. It was about 5 or 6 of us. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy who had experienced it. And he was ramping and raving about the orgasm that you get out of it. And to a man, everybody said, yes, it's something you curious because of whatever, but don't nobody want to do it because of what is attached to it.
Absolutely. And take the attachment off. That's where it comes with being vulnerable with your mate. And there's a lot of men out here saying no, but.
So does it take feeling safe with your mate that she's not going to go tell her girls like, girl, guess what I did? That if you're in a relationship where you feel comfortable, would a man actually try it? I know you guys are going to say no.
I think that probably has a lot to do with it. You know,
I'm sorry, I blacked out. I'm waiting on to talk about something else.
We'll move on, El. We'll move on. We got
because this is a real conversation that people should have. I mean, what's your name?
My name is Okara.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you.
I'm sorry, Okara. That's El. I'm sorry, I should have started from the beginning. I started with you guys instead of going back through. Okara and Valencia, part of the He Said, She Said team. And thank you, Mita and El. I'm trying to talk too fast for chiming in. I appreciate you all. So if you're just tuning in on Facebook, we're talking about sex, baby. IntellectualRadio.com, and we're talking about kinky sexual habits. And what if your partner isn't into them? Is that okay? Well, can you still have a healthy relationship and you two to totally be on different pages with those sort of things?
Negative,
you can't have a healthy relationship if they have kinks.
That's not gonna work.
No,
I think there's another avenue. I think there's a gray area. So let's say this.
The gray areas of the people.
Let's say no.
The gray area is getting from somebody else and not me.
The gray area, that gray other people is when I fade to black. That's not gray. that's another something. But let's say, for instance, it's something that you don't want to participate in, but are you willing to sit there and let them participate by themselves, and you're willing to participate? There's phases to this.
Now what? What?
There's phases to this.
Put your finger in your hole.
Hey, yay! If that's what you do,
trying to figure it out.
yeah, so if that's what you like to do, and you watching the movie,
I thought she was gonna go into like watching him do something with somebody else. I'm like, wait, what?
I already said my boundary stop. I don't know if y'all made it in before I say at that point, but I'm for trying it all until you start involving other people.
Okay.
So I'm saying if there's something that he or she wants to do and you're not really into it, and there's other toys and gadgets and movies that all can be simultaneously going, and you can sit back and let them enjoy, and you can enjoy watching them enjoy. I mean, there's before you go all the way to somebody
sexy.
else.
I like that.
I like that too.
I think you should try whatever your partner.
Together.
I agree.
I tell you.
Be monogamous.
Yes.
If you want a committed monogamous relationship, you better try what they like,
Yes.
or talk out what they absolutely, and see if that's your. I'm not going there. So can we even be in a relationship? Because I don't think I'm gonna do the silent lie, because I'm a horrible liar. But we do some prerequisites to see if what you like and don't like, to see if we're even compatible. Because
people should have these conversations.
I agree.
There's
I
a lot
agree.
of dancing around what I really want, what I really like. I'm a no bullshit type of person, so I'm abrasive sometimes, and it comes across that way. But I believe that cuts all the bullshit out. You know exactly where I stand. I know exactly where you stand, and can we go from there? Because if not, then we shouldn't continue this.
Can I just say a lot of men don't know what they like. They don't know how to communicate what they like or what they want. You know what I mean? If I can be frank.
Mita,
be
frank.
I'm frank. A lot of guys don't know how to tell you how they like their dick sucked. You know what I mean? I've come across that in several relationships.
Sorry, you've been abused like that.
Because
okay, so
I can write it down for you.
Down.
That has
They
been
don't
my
need her.
experience. And some women also don't know how to relay to their mate how they like to be pleased, because they don't know.
That is true.
All of the, you know what I mean?
A lot
That
of
is
women, and it's interesting that a lot of women deep into their 30s or even into their 40s have not experienced the full body orgasm, like the blackout.
Orgasm.
Yeah. As the French would call it, le petit, the little death.
Look at you.
I know.
I'm impressed.
International
Comedian and all. Look at you going into ooh-wee-wee.
International dictionary.
Right.
Yeah,
He did a show in France last week.
French fry.
Yeah, so wee-wee.
Okay, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Did you say a little wee wee?
French fries.
Little wee wee. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Create French stalkers.
You want French stalkers?
You don't want no French stalkers.
They listen everywhere at IntellectualRadio.com, so they would probably listening in France. So if you're listening, he got you. So
there's more than a little wee wee.
So one of our topics, and I'll just go ahead and segue into it, because Tucson, I did take this from you in the group about sexual energy. That sex is an energy exchange and has been diminished to just a sexual activity. So one of the topics that I put down is, can you be energy? Do you have to have it in a relationship? But because if someone can't express what they even like, is it even there? Are they even connected to their own sexual energy?
It can still be there.
I think it's more of like your own sexual, and you're not even into the collaborative energy. I think that's what's missing. So my energy might be rolling because you gotta these days you got a beard, you can get some energy rolling.
No, these are facts. These are facts.
I mean, it just depends on where what kind of energy are we talking about? But the true energy that I believe Tucson is speaking on is that energy that really connects. When you see the memes that talk about a piece of you is left within someone because of that energy.
So soul ties,
people that they talk about. I think it's all stemming from the energy. And I think it's a necessary energy. Operate deeper, are more connected with it, because I personally cannot relate to people that just see somebody and just want to have sex. I have to really feel some connection to have it, and with that makes it great for me. And I could love you today, and then you can make me not love you tomorrow, and the sex would be horrible tomorrow. And you're the same person doing the same thing. So I truly believe it is an energy.
Do you need to be connected to your own energy? Does that help?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You got to bring your
Absolutely.
own mojo to the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you definitely got to do that.
Help you connect to the other person.
Exactly.
If you know what that feeling is, you can tune into your feelings, so you can tune into theirs and work what works together. Maybe some people don't realize that they're not connected to their own energy, or afraid to connect to it. There may be some women, some men too, who are taboo to even tap into that energy.
That's the thing.
Of judgment or something else.
Sex like this bad thing. We've made it a bad thing if you're in tune with the sexual part of you. We've made it bad.
Teresa Johnson is funny, y'all.
She's a comedian too. T Bizzle.
Teresa, let me just say that I would try it once, and if it doesn't
read
work,
it. What did she say?
She said, so if a guy said to you he likes to penetrate you in your inner ear, and you've never tried it before, would you still say, I don't know what it's like, so I'll try it? I would try it.
I don't like it.
I mean, shit.
My ear not gonna hurt me.
I met a girl.
I could put a swab in there. He might be able to. I mean, shit.
If
I met a girl who liked
if
that.
he's small enough to fit in your ear.
That's what I'm thinking. He's so big it can't hurt. What are you gonna do with my ear?
You're
not getting anywhere. So how can that hurt me? If you like it,
maybe
if you like it, go ahead.
Maybe it's the cup. Maybe it's the sight of it. Who knows? That's funny.
I'm sorry. That was funny.
I just want you to hear me come.
Right.
Since T Bizzle was here, I want to bring up, we were all at the Becoming Dateable last Thursday. L. Williams was the host of it, and
Eva Rue was I was
co-hosting.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
yes.
Eva and Monica Payne and it was a really fun time, and it was the Bearded Gang edition. So your beard was a co-host.
My beard was on full display.
Full display that day. We had a great time. And T Bizzle, who is also part of the Intellectual Radio family. She's with CGF Entertainment Tuesdays at 9 p.m. here on IntellectualRadio.com, the Chicago girlfriend. So thank you for listening, T Bizzle.
You know what, Wanda? I want to go back to a couple of points.
Go back a couple of points. See, back into the ear. Are we going somewhere different?
Further than the ear. Let's come out of the ear.
Come out of the ear. Back to the butthole. Are we going back to the butthole or back somewhere else?
No,
somewhere else.
I'm definitely not.
You're done with that. You're awake. Let's go.
So, Mita brought up a point about men not being able to express how to be pleased during fellatio. And a lot of times, so here's the thing with the issue we have with men and women. Men don't know how to communicate to women. And sometimes women don't know how to listen to a man's voice. Or should I say hear a man is saying, right?
I could accept that.
And then vice versa, because I've dealt with women that were like, yo, what did you do to me? And I'm like, a nigga ain't never did that to you before? You know what I'm saying? Because men have not listened to the female body, to the anatomy. She'll talk to you. It's like playing a musical instrument. If you hit the wrong notes, it's going to sound sour. You're going da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
You're like, wrong note.
But when you're hitting the right notes,
hey,
it's beautiful music. You just gotta listen, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta listen to her body. Every woman is different. I believe I'm probably a great sexual partner, but it's not because, like, you know, I'm the most Idris Elba built nigga on the planet, or, you know what I'm saying, I got 24 inches of dick. It's because I am paying attention to the woman's body.
Go ahead.
You know, the other thing is so let's just say for some odd reason, what he's saying does not work, which works. But let's say it's not. Then I'm going to tell you what you do. You get down there and you do, and you say, tell me when I got it right. Because there's all kinds of things. I remember
going back to listening.
Right. No, right.
Listening.
But sometimes you could have her actually just talk while you're doing it. I have done it a couple of times because she couldn't really explain it.
Yeah.
You know, and basically what it boiled down to was that she did not like direct contact on her clitoris, but she liked you to be all around it.
Yeah.
And so, right. And so, you know, when she was trying to explain it, she would say, you know, I like your touches, but she didn't know how to really explain it until I got.
So it went something like you were down there and she's like, oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh no, back up, two top.
That's
okay,
that's
it. Then.
Right, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
Yep. That's how it goes.
But that's how it goes. And I mean, you just have to do that. Just because you don't have some kind of ego about it, you good. Just be willing to learn.
Right there, baby,
okay, so what Toussaint said, I think fits into what you're saying, that men absolutely know how to communicate. We communicate to the expectation. Hence your statement about respectful lies. We communicate to the expectation. And so
that's funny. That's a funny statement, because what they're saying is, as low as they think your expectations are, that's how they're gonna come, right? Is that what he's saying?
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like, right?
If you don't expect anything
if your expectations are low, that's as high as they going. But then the women get bashed when they have the higher expectations. But they're letting you know right there, that is a statement from a man saying, wherever your expectations are, that's as high as I'm gonna jump.
Some I'll say a few. We won't even make it big. Sometimes are really just in tune to what they're want out of this, and they're not trying to tune into you.
Yeah,
they're not
lovers.
And that's what Stezo and Nehemia is saying. They're saying that there are not enough people out here that are really looking for that energy connection. They're looking for the bus off, and then they done. And so that's what they're saying. But Toussaint is correcting us. He's saying we're reading it wrong.
Okay.
So please help us out.
For us.
Yeah, please explain it. I know you can. But yes, it looks like you're kind of just saying yes, that we kind of set to give us the respectful lies. Yes. But yes, please clear that up for us, because that looks kind of
this is what we're talking about with communication.
There's a disconnect, but that goes now we're going back to where we're at now, the energy, right? So when that energy is so strong, the communication opens up.
Yeah. When that energy is there, I think the ego does go down a little, because I want to do what it takes to please you, and vice versa. We both want, because you're the one I want, so I'm going to figure out how I can please you, and you'll figure out how you can please me. But you have to want to, and to get to that level.
Yeah.
There is no ego in pleasing someone.
Come on.
Right.
So
that's the point where you want to be at when you're talking about your lovers. I'm trying to please you, you're trying to please me, and we're at a point of ultimate pleasure principle. That's the goal, right? Because now, hey, I'm gonna see you later. As a matter of fact, I'm not leaving now. Let's do this again. Let's do this again. Fuck whatever else I got going on today, we'll figure it out. You know. So that's what you want out of whoever you're having sex with.
Dang, Toussaint, you got a lot of exclamation marks up there.
Read it for me, Mita.
He's just being passionate.
Y'all create an expectation. That's not an energy. We become what y'all expect, and what you expect is an idea. It's not what you want. It's a social standard.
So what he's saying is that we're mixing up energy and expectation. So we're giving out expectation that disguised as energy. And it's made up off of what society said that we should want or whatever. I would disagree with that to some extent.
I don't know if that's I can't do the text. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a lot to try to,
we have to fill in where he could explain it verbally. We're filling in. Hey, Katie Lowe. Katie Lowe is part of the Intellectual Radio family. She has a show, Rhythm and Flow. It's on Tuesdays at 5:00 here at IntellectualRadio.com. Hey, Katie Lowe. I always appreciate my fellow Intellectual Radio brothers and sisters chiming in. Appreciate you all joining. He said, she said, and listening in. We've been talking about sex, baby, here on IntellectualRadio.com.
What's the social standard he's speaking of?
What? So if we're talking about ourselves, if I'm talking about myself and it's one-on-one between, I don't know if I'm even thinking about what the social standard of what I should feel or expect from you sexually. Now, what I think about the world, think about me sexually, but when I get behind a closed door, I'm not really paying no attention to what society thinks.
Exactly, because that's what we're talking about, because we're trying to get you to let us put our finger in there. So, of course, we ain't thinking about what the social standard is. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to stroke your prostate. I'm trying to check you, make sure you all good, so you can skip some of them doctor's visits and stuff.
No, you're not
no. All right, here.
We're not thinking about society with the door closed.
Here's what happens, right?
Valencia.
Look, here's what happens. Me and you, super wonderful situation.
Super wonderful.
Yeah, super wonderful situation.
Okay.
I'm
gonna lay back. I'm gonna let this go. It's energy right here.
This energy situation, right? And then you get to putting your thumb up my butt. Then you slide 2 fingers up my butt, right? What? Now, I'm getting to this.
We're not getting wild with it.
Now it's 2 fingers up my butt, and you checking my prostate, and I'm like, cool, check it again. I just want to make sure I'm healthy, right? We break up. Somewhere on the Twitter or Black Instagram or Black Twitterverse or Facebook, it comes out.
I'm so sorry that some women have scorned you that way.
Nobody.
He said, not me. I don't do that.
See, that's what we already said. There has to be a safe place. There has to be a.
It did happen to Kanye. It did happen to Kanye.
Well, I tell you why it happened to Kanye. When you out here acting a clean, whole fool, and you didn't abandon your community with the same stuff that you talked about in your song, you doing, then I'm finna bust you out. See, that's something else. That's on a whole nother level. That's for money. That's for tricks. That's for games. We're talking about real life into thing that you do have some people.
She kissing toes.
Now, when she got to 3 fingers, if he didn't like 3 fingers, then say my limit is 2 fingers. I'm just saying. But anyway, but that's what getting back to where the man has to feel safe with the woman, and the woman has to feel, because everything that the woman wants to do with a man is not necessarily okay.
And you can't do everything with everybody.
But you can't do everything with everybody.
You can't.
I want to ask the women a question. Ladies.
There's a couple of them. So look here.
Ladies, if you have a man and he says, and he requests you to stick your thumb up his butt, sexuality.
They will.
No.
They probably. I think there's some.
No.
I think there's some.
No.
A thumb? What did you say?
Any thumb, finger?
No, I'm not. No.
Any apparatus up a man's butt that he enjoys.
No.
So you don't think he's
No.
He may be gay.
No.
You guys listen.
But no, there's
these 3 women. I'm sure there may be other women out here.
Now, if you asking for a dildo, we don't have a problem.
I've seen women on Facebook. I've seen women on Facebook say they would question it.
I do.
When
I see it all the time.
Yeah, I've seen them. There are probably some who wouldn't, but I have seen women on Facebook who.
And those are women with limitations on their sexuality within their No, because we have this rampant culture of all of this that we are now demonizing it. That's fine if you, once again, now those are society standards that have told us that we need to put that label on that. So in that instance is what more goes with what you find.
If you're trying to love this man for life, you're setting yourself up for it.
Look, here's the funny thing about that. Every single sexual act you do is a homosexual act. Men suck each other's penises.
Exactly.
Men have sex in the booty. They fuck,
Exactly.
So if you like having sex with women in the booty, if you like fucking women in the booty, then you could be confused as being gay.
Yes.
If you like getting your penis sucked, you could be confused as being. It's every single act that heterosexual. Yes, you can. It's the same thing.
Do you like to have sex with a woman, or do you like to have sex with a man?
That's what the reality is that they do That's the reality is that they do everything that we do.
They had to pull out of the sexual.
I don't want a man that wants dildo.
That's fine. I don't either.
If you don't want
that,
I'm just
that
dildo
is too much. That's fine.
I can go fingers. When it gets bigger.
There's some people that
don't say that. I said that out loud. But I'm not. I can't go that.
No,
that's a little more
to that is
so I agree with you to some degree.
If you're trying to have a male-female heterosexual relationship with a man, and you put fingers in his butt. He's requesting you to put fingers in his butt. 9 times out of 10, he's been experimenting with men.
How is that?
It could have been in his previous relationships, like we already spoke of. What if he was exposed?
What if he was exposed?
And he enjoyed it, and now
well, let's move on from that one particular act. We're gonna move on from the.
I mean, if you want to be gay, be gay. I'm just saying.
So, do you like anal sex? Do you like giving anal sex? Said, I like it in my ass. I need you to put that dick in my ass right now. That's gonna turn me on. You're gonna say no.
Had that requested.
Really?
Say no.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Is it because you would think that she might think you were gay?
I can't.
Right.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said, would you say no because you think she might think you're gay if you did it?
No, I wouldn't be worried about her thinking I'm gay. I've always felt it was kind of like gay. It's like some butt up.
People just need to be with people who are compatible and like-minded with them. It's no need to try to convince somebody to do something that you don't like. Just get with the person who likes what you like.
Who match your kinky level.
Y'all got to be on the same kink level. Don't try to change people's kink.
There's 7 billion people on the planet. Somebody is exactly as nasty
just like
as you are.
Yes. Go do that with them. But to try to make somebody conform to your nasty, why waste your energy when there's so many people out here? Go find your level of kink and get with your level of kink. It's
out there.
But it's not going to work, I don't think, if you keep trying to. You wanted it. You decided you would sacrifice that. Eventually, you may want it again. Something may come up and you're trying to make this person do it. You've just added issues into your relationship when you could have just went with someone who likes what you do.
There's someone out there waiting to be nasty.
He's so nasty. We had
you just don't want to go fucking every damn body trying to find that one person.
Right. We had one guy earlier on the feed. He did say, as far as he said men can't please women because they don't understand their bodies as well. But then he said something earlier straight to this point, but I lost in the feed. We got a lot of stuff going on, but
I like that. That means we got a lot of listeners right now.
Yeah, right now when you talk about sex, people.
Hey, Malcolm.
Cizo says, "Hey, Malcolm." Cizo says the problem is trying to find that person who likes your nasty. Is that a problem, or are you looking in the right places?
But I don't know they met so nasty until you get to that point in the relationship where y'all get down like that.
Because you know it's freaks in church.
Do you have the conversation before you even have sex? Like, hey, I'm nasty as fuck. You want to get with this or no? Like, how does that go?
We was 45 seconds into meeting each other, and I was already figuring out that you was with shit.
Nigga, stop.
How you know that? Wait, bring us into y'all conversation. What y'all talking about over there on the end, Mita and L?
But you know, you looking good. And I was like, wow, thank you.
The energy was there, huh?
No, I asked her, I said, do I look good? She was like,
you are looking good over there.
I said, you look nice.
I was like, do I look like you give me something good? She was like, no. I'm not that. She was like, is that the goal? I was like,
was that the goal when you got dressed this morning and left the house to find women that, want to give you something when they look at you?
I want to find women. I just want women to be like, I'm looking.
I said it's not you. It's just not how I'm set up. It's not how I'm built.
She didn't want to tell
me. You looking
that
good.
She bit her bottom lip, and I was like, that's all right.
That's all right. Your mouth was saying it all.
That's all I needed.
That's all I needed was that bottom lip bite.
The sweater got
I don't really like beards, so then that would be.
It was a sweater. I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Two said, if 90% of women aren't orgasming, you got to look in the mirror. Y'all's energy is clouded by what the social standards are, and you aren't tapped into your own energy. And I do believe there are women who definitely are not tapped into their own energy because their mothers, there are mothers who kind of is their girls to think that's bad, that's not, ladies don't do that, or maybe church, and I'm not saying all churches, but maybe some have.
Most churches are not going to say, hey, listen,
you over here trying to,
you should figure out what makes you nut in Jesus' name. That's not how that goes.
I can't.
That's not how that goes at all. So,
no fornication, and we kind of doing some porn.
You shouldn't fornicate. You're not going to make it in if you fornicate. You're not going to make it in if you look too sexy. You're not going to make it in if you pleasure yourself. You're just not going to make it in, period.
You can't pleasure yourself in religion?
No. I remember being a girl. I remember younger, my mother would like, do that and da 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 da, and you shouldn't. Yep.
You gonna go blind?
It's in the Bible. No, it's in the Bible where God killed a man for shooting out on the floor. So I never shot on the floor. I used the sock.
You know what? I cannot right now.
You got
having that. You up there now?
She disagreed with two spots.
You got to catch the hand. You got to catch it in the hand so you can have good skin.
I'm going to heaven.
You got to catch it in the hand so you can have good skin.
Oh my God!
Use that protein. Wait, collagen or what else is in it?
The point we're making
what did anemia say? What did
Vitamin E, I think.
Vitamin E. That's what it is for the skin. Vitamin E.
Vitamin E.
N-Dot said, anemia said too, I disagree. Men enough to understand a woman's body. Some women don't orgasm as hard through penetration as they do oral.
True.
That's true.
So is that the woman doesn't know how to tap into her? I think both could be true.
Yeah. I think both could be true. I think like even if a woman's energy off, if the man's, I mean, is it only the women's energy that's here? How about the? I think there are more women probably in tune with their energy because the energy is what you see. More women get caught on and latched on to the deep than you do men that latch on to women for their stuff.
Well,
and
finish your point.
And so when that, to me, that's like that false energy she has that energy connected to that, whereas it was something to do for him. And so we get connected like that. I think women are more open because they're more emotional, that their energy is there. So if a man is not making that woman reach it, because the man can say the right thing, and we don't care what mama preached and taught.
That's true.
And stuff, when that stuff get the tingling and stuff like that. We don't know about the lessons we learned in Bible school or whatever. But once again, this is probably still a skewed vision because men won't really express and talk about.
What do you want to say, Karen?
I think that the reason women hold on is more about women not to get their numbers up. And a lot of times, if you are in a situation where you like a guy, if it doesn't go well right away, and you've already had sex, you're faced with, gosh, I have to have sex with another dude. Hold on, because there is that pressure. Men, we really don't have that pressure. No. So if it's a situation where it doesn't work out, I mean, the old saying is nothing better than what new pussy or whatever. That's not.
You get a boy for how many numbers?
Right.
I mean, it's Brad don't have any numbers. It's
not the same for women. And I think that sometimes, as far as like men being in tune, a lot of men just kind of like, okay, one size fits all. Like, okay, this worked for her, so I think it's gonna work for her. If I say this to her, it'll work for her. Some men have that kind of attitude toward it, and so if a woman is not confident enough to say, look, dude, that's not working for me, then you might get what he was used to doing with old girl from the past. And so that's why I think that a lot of times when women sit there and have bad sex or sex that don't work for them, and they sit there and they fake, that is probably about the dumbest thing you can do. You need to let somebody know that they need to stroke a little bit different.
And that says society places the responsibility of pleasing her man to keep her man. So I do think some women not to get them upset or just take it versus voicing how they feel in fear of losing him or him going to another woman. They don't try to fix it. They want to please their man. And if this pleases him, I'm okay with it. And I do think what you're saying absolutely plays a part in it too.
And men having fragile egos.
Exactly. And you're not wanting to bruise that ego. And I think we're, like you said, we're kind of trained to go with it and fake it, and fake it, and you really don't, because.
But that's when, once again, go back to his point. They really not in tune with her. So if you're able to fake it with a man, about to fake.
Yep.
You faking, he faking, y'all wasting y'all time. Because
Just
if
wasting
you
time.
were faking it and that man was in tune, he would know you were faking.
He would know it wasn't
He has
right.
to care to want to know if he's faking.
Absolutely.
I was just
If he's
gonna say
just going
because-
for
Absolutely.
something,
And that's
You
why I
know,
said,
as a
so
man,
you
you get
faking
that
for
nut off,
him
you got
and he's
that
You
nut.
faking,
right,
and
you
it's
got
just
the-
a hot mess.
you could care less whether she really. It has to be his end goal, because if the end goal is just to orgasm, he's good. He
And
don't
put a
really
knot,
care whether you were
absolutely.
faking it or not. Really,
Yeah.
that's
So that's why I said, so ladies, stop faking it, because if they don't like you, go ahead and shatter their ego and be like, bruh.
Wait. Don't.
Bruh, stop faking and tell them thumbs down.
If you like him because the pressure is going to be too much to him, and he's never going to be able to reach that.
No, but we were talking about the men who don't care and just already, and they're faking for men who don't care because they wouldn't be able to get past the man who cared faking.
Well,
do you think the older you get, the more you're less likely to fake it? Do you kind of get to the point when you get older that you don't care how he feels?
I
weren't
just
faking
think
it
if you
ever?
work, I
hell
think it's
no.
a personality
I've told niggas to
thing.
get
Are
up
you
before
somebody
we
who want to
Okay.
keep things calm or whatever, or are you really in tune with your sexuality where you not gonna fake?
What y'all two doing back there?
I can't.
The class clowns, the energy, that backdoor energy.
Yeah,
I
over
need
there.
to know what happened back there. Y'all both came back.
Ain't nothing happened. We talked about black squirrels.
Yeah,
There are black squirrels?
That's what I said. I
Okay,
didn't know.
what were y'all just talking about? We want to know. We want to tap
said-
into what you
I
all were
said when
saying.
I was in my 20s, I'll tell a nigga to get up. If you're not doing it right, or this ain't working for me.
Oh, my ego bruised for him.
I just be like, get up, this ain't working. I'm done, And he said it's because I was cute. That I don't understand why that has anything to
Yeah,
do
what
with
is
it.
cute or how you look
So
make
an
a
ugly bitch
difference?
can't say get up.
But
Be
she
in a
won't.
drought with her ugly ass.
You know what? I can't.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, it happens. It's a lot. It's a lot of chicks
Ugly
out here
girls
that.
got good
Can men
scratch.
fake it?
Yeah,
Me
listen,
and Dot is asking, do men fake it?
I have. I was on tour.
And how do you
I
fake
was,
it?
I was
I've
on
had
tour.
men fake
If you
it
were
with
in
me.
comedy, you can fake it. I was on tour
You
years
don't
ago,
fake it? Okay.
and I was in my 20s though. I was
Okay.
in my 20s when I did it, and I was hitting this girl, and I noticed that there, of this maybe about 10, 15 minutes in, there was a smell that just I couldn't take anymore.
It took 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, when she opened up in 10, 15 minutes, and she really opened up, and I was like, yo, somebody's still in there. And so I eventually was like, oh shit, damn, and, I hit it with the goddamn. And
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I went hopped in the shower immediately, expeditiously.
Immediately.
I love the big word.
Yeah, I don't know. I hang out with T.I. all the time. Man. Whenever he's on YouTube, I pontificate with the best of them. And I immediately hopped into the shower and rinsed all of the
I hope you washed, not rinsed.
Oh yeah, you're right. I
Washed.
You
Scrubbed.
washed, scrubbed,
I took my
use
time.
soap,
Hot
use
water.
soap, hot water.
Hot water, all the soap. I used the shampoo, everything.
You use everything they
I
had.
used
on
everything
it.
in there. If it
And
was
did you kick
liquid,
her out?
It eventually. I tried to be nice to her because, she has already suffered enough if she smells like that.
And did you tell her that she had a smell?
I was in my 20s. I had another.
No, you
don't.
don't.
Yeah.
You don't want to care what?
No, you don't.
You don't tell her she
You don't-
smells?
No, as I got older,
Well, she knows.
I did that when I got older.
Time I was in Miami and I was dead set on giving me some. And so I met this girl, we went back and we started messing around. I pulled down her pants and I could smell something. And so at first
fishery.
And so at first I was,
Lord.
at first it was brief, I didn't have them all the way down. I just and I was like, man, what was that? So by the time, I got it all the way, and I'd say to myself, like, oh my God, like, how am I going to get out of this? Right. So my body part was like, dude, I'm not doing this, pretty much.
Your dick could talk to you.
Yeah, he was like,
What does it just say?
He said, I'm not.
He said, no, man, we ain't going. I ain't
He
going.
said, we're not about to
ain't
do
doing
this. So she ended up trying to get him to,
Cooperate.
right, to cooperate, right? So in one of my most proud moments, I will say,
You were proud?
Yes, I was proud because of what happened. So, she was doing it, but she was only doing it, get it hard. She wasn't like trying to. And so I went into this place like a zen and I was able to orgasm like half-heart. It was so
thinking about Halle Berry or somebody.
I felt like I was clutch, about the jam. Right?
Oh
but
my God.
She afterwards she spent the night, and I walked her to her hotel, and she asked me, really, that I suck my, is the reason why we didn't. And I just said, yeah, you really killed it. I wasn't gonna tell her. I figured just by her asking me that question, deep down inside, she knew. You don't tell nobody that unless
I do.
Well,
I've told a woman before.
You crushed her.
I didn't. I mean, yes, I did.
Yeah, you crushed her.
She was ashamed of herself, and rightfully so. You all day you knew I was coming over here to get the service.
All day.
All day.
You knew.
We've been texting and talking all day. I'm gonna slide through and beat it up.
You couldn't go get a douche.
You couldn't hop in the shower or in the tub and soak your soul away.
Boy, bitch, you knew you had an infection. You should have been like, nah, nigga, give me a week. Give me 7 days.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm going to holler at you in 7 days.
Maybe her pH balance is off.
Yeah, it could have been the pH. It could have been the pH. It could have been the pH.
Maybe the pH balance is off. Maybe it's something.
There's no bath can help you.
Maybe it's something what she's eating.
You know, I promise.
Two said she eats too much meat or something. Two said, you're making it sound like it's just about, there can be bad box just from
and that's
not just
be my
next
question. No, it is.
No. Makes it bad.
What makes it bad?
It's the whole thing.
That's why I couldn't wait to get.
What makes it bad? Yes, what makes it
bad?
Because
there's levels to it. Okay. All boxes not created equal. I want to look in the camera. Which camera?
I want you to go to the main one, but go back over there.
There is Magic Box, which is a box that niggas will kill for, marry, raise kids that aren't theirs. They listen, put hits out on your baby daddy because your pussy is so good that your kids don't need 2 daddies. Listen, there's Magical Box. There's the unicorn. There's the sprinkles in it. It's magical. Then there's Lunchbox, right?
Lunchbox.
Yeah,
what's the Lunchbox?
Lunchbox is regular. Like, I could do lunch, right?
You can do lunch.
I can do lunch. I'm hungry.
Every day you can do lunch.
I can do lunch every day.
Okay.
Right, because,
I'm hungry and I need lunch.
I need lunch.
Gotta eat.
And so it's not bad.
Gotta eat.
It's not magical and it's not bad either. It's lunch. You know
it's normal. It's regular.
Then there's Sandbox.
Sandbox.
It's horrible. It's powder pussy.
It's powder.
Dry.
You know what I'm saying? It's horrible, and you need to dedicate that trash ass pussy to the Lord immediately. Join the mother's board now. I don't care if you're 22. Join the mother's board and never give that.
But you're not saying what is making it.
What makes Sandbox?
It's a hole. It's the hole. It's the hole. So what makes
my
it
man
bad?
will attest to this that there are so many factors.
It's a lot of can
we get 10?
No, it is some factors. It's some factors. I mean,
we know stinky, we know loose. Can we get some other
fan dry?
Okay, dry pussy.
Yeah, if it's dry, there's no helping you.
There's lubricant though.
Still, that's still not all. Like I don't know. Maybe
so it can't be
y'all making me have high flash right now. I'm like,
dry is always the number one. There is
sit on it.
There is
natural lubricant.
Because there are some people, there are some women who don't really get be for different reasons. Some because they don't drink enough water. Is one of the reasons.
If you can't drown me, I don't.
Another one.
Drowning over here.
Another one actually is like sometimes it's like.
What kind of box is this? We got the lunch box, Sandbox.
No, so sometimes
we got the cardboard box.
Sometimes it can just. Sometimes it can be, and not have anything that
to
like
grasp
no muscle
too loose.
So yeah,
dry and tight is bad.
And
wet
really
and loose is the open box.
No, wet and loose is bad. Yes.
Dry and tight is bad. Wet and loose is bad. Stinky is way bad.
So when it's wet and loose, you just fuck the walls, like because you in there.
And they can't find them. That's the problem.
It's like they don't have
wall in there. You just gotta.
It's kind of
like there's wet.
You gotta fuck it sideways.
There's really wet with like and because I remember. Oh my god, I remember.
So you want the dress?
What they call them balls? What they call them balls?
I just flashed back.
Tight ball.
I just
do them Kegels.
No, the
Dude.
Kenya.
The Kegel exercise.
You better do some Kegels.
Do that.
Yeah.
Get that pussy tight.
Ladies, if you don't have no Kegel ministry where it feels
Or the
like
yoni
Christmas
eggs,
L's
the yoni
beside
eggs
my
work.
head.
You heard
Yes.
the yoni eggs. You
Yes.
put the egg in
I
there,
don't know about that.
and you have to. It's
said
like
yes.
slight
Look.
yoga, and you put the egg in there, and you practice on keeping the egg in there with you. Yeah. I'm just telling y'all. A friend had told me.
No,
Right.
I'm
Not from
because I
experience.
remember there was this person. It was like, I mean, because it's the thing. The thing that was messed up about it is she was a party girl, right? And so I wasn't really trying to, but it was just crazy because like I remember she was from behind and I would hit it and I would be looking because she was party girl. I was and it seemed like it was pulling the condom down. I would have to go back up. It was
my
just
pussy do
I
that
couldn't.
sometimes.
I couldn't.
Whoa, we're getting graphic, y'all.
Okay, all right, my fault. My fault. Let's move on.
I said, ladies, school them on bad wood.
That's some of the activity.
That's some Kegel exercise.
Y'all killing me.
We want the ladies that now tell them what's bad wood.
Oh, what's bad wood?
Yeah.
Oh, if you got a pencil dick, that's a no-go.
Goodbye.
Okay.
If you got a stinky dick, that's a no-go.
Stinky.
Musky
Okay.
too.
Musky ball.
But-
Yeah,
Musky
nobody got time for that
ball.
shit. For me, if
Is
you're,
that uncircumcised stinky? Or
I don't do uncircumcised. I can't be.
So you could be.
It's nothing wrong with the turtleneck.
There's nothing wrong with it.
What's the turtleneck?
That's just my
Nothing
preference.
wrong with the
I
turtleneck.
don't.
What's the turtleneck?
It's nothing wrong with the turtleneck.
It's too hairy.
Keeps you warm in the winter. I understand.
Too hairy.
If it's too hairy, I
You
can't.
get
I
caught-
can't do that. I don't like
Ain't nobody
throw
trying
lost with your motherfucking shit. If it's too short, if you're really not hitting that G spot. I really like. What are we doing? What is life?
I thought the G spot was only 3 inches in.
So if you got 2 inches, what we gonna do for 3?
Hey, homie, this nigga out here struggling.
Struggling.
Hey, we sitting there like.
And honestly, for me, like I feel like a lot of women have sex emotionally. You know what I mean? And so therefore,
The 3 inches work.
Well, no.
I've never heard that, so I don't believe it.
I just feel like if we don't have any kind of connection, like it's a no-go. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're talking about the energy and all that kind of stuff.
What
like,
if you're too big?
thing is,
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard too big. I've heard
I don't
people
want
too
to put
big.
that
I
out
don't
there
know.
like
I'm sorry.
that.
There's
You
not-
said
That's
you've
just
never had
you just
too
don't know
big.
about that life. Y'all ain't about that
We
life.
all different sizes, right? I think we
She
all
like-
have to be different sizes.
She like I ain't about
The
that.
energy is just getting bigger.
She's like I ain't about
If a
that life. I
nigga
ain't
can't
never
eat
done
pussy,
that.
Well,
that's bad dick.
we got Chris that says you have to modify your technique. Sometimes you have to stir it like coffee instead of stab it like a knife. You got
Stirred up.
stir it up.
What are
and
we
don't
talking
stab.
The body, she's talking
Yes.
about
It
this.
has to go in to start up.
But they
Ain't
got
no
It has to
in my
fit.
shit to stir. You in and out. This dude, that's what it is. Ain't stir.
Okay, Meeta Bang. You are listening to IntellectualRadio.com. This is intellectual/sexual.com right now. IntellectualRadio.com. We are talking about sex, baby.
I got all kind. Look,
Okay, yeah.
I got go-to
I was
strokes.
just listening over. She was talking to me.
Oh my
God! I'm still stuck.
The
on, we
energy
got to
is
go.
there.
We got to go now.
Can you create energy where there wasn't just from talking to somebody out there?
That's what
I think
You
so.
can
Can you-
discover it. I
You
don't
can
think
create
create
it, but
you
you
can
can
discover
create
it.
it.
But I
You can
think
discover that
it.
energy is
Yes.
there.
You can discover it. Can't create it.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see where we're going on our topics here. If a woman, and this is from Steezo Radio, if you all check him out, he's on iTunes and a bunch of places, wherever you can listen to podcasts.
Is
Check
that
out
DJ
Steezo Radio.
Steezo? No, you said Steezo.
No,
not
Steezo Radio.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
right,
not.
right.
So if a woman has a dresser full of condoms, for a hoe, like if she's totally prepared for whatever may happen. You get to her house and she says, and you say, do you have one? She says, yeah, check that drawer. You say the whole drawer is filled.
Yeah, she got all different kinds of sizes. She's read them all different sizes.
Guys, how do you feel about that woman? What do you have a feeling, or you like her to be prepared?
I think she is responsible.
I think she's responsible.
Wanda, you said thank you.
Time.
Like that's what your drawer looks like.
I think she's responsible.
Don't have a drawer. Thank you very much.
She's consistently responsible all the time.
But I think being responsible makes sense.
If she got a dresser full of full of condoms, that means
full of drawers. I'm excited.
That means
they're free.
She's not having a lot of sex.
Or she just re-up.
Maybe she never go down. But you wouldn't feel a certain type of way that she got medium, small, large. So make sure you got the right size. You wouldn't be thinking
extra large, lamb skin.
I would no.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't care.
They're saying the only thing that makes a woman a hoe is if she's selling. Not selling, being prepared for whatever may come her way.
They say
especially because
just having condoms makes her promiscuous.
I'm saying she might be engaging in thoughtivities.
But I
say she's a keeper.
I've heard a lot of say that a lot of times men be trying to not use condoms, or come without a condom or whatever. And so if that is the case, then for a woman to have condoms just seems like she's smart. Like, oh, guess what? I got some.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Better safe than sorry.
Down, Chicago Bear. You're gonna die anyway. Might as well die how you want to go in the pussy.
I can't deal with it.
I can't deal with it.
Take this Eric right to the upper room.
I just can't.
If I remember correctly, Steve, you may not still be listening, but did he say that he doesn't want to? I think he said he doesn't want to be with the woman. If she has a drawer like that, he feels like there's been a lot of guys before him, and that is a huge turnoff.
She's seen a lot of dicks. She has.
You know what I
have experience.
You don't want experience?
A little too much experience, maybe.
Or you don't want to know about it. You want what's the name of the lie?
That's what that is.
Lie? That's a super assumption.
That's an assumption. That is.
I agree. But I don't think I could have went somewhere and they were giving them out free, and I grabbed the whole box and threw them in my drawer.
Exactly.
So does that make you?
I know somebody who worked. No, seriously.
Pull your towel out.
Like fingers in their ass, not gay. And now,
I've dated
with gangs and gangs of condoms or not.
I've dated women who worked in healthcare or who worked for a clinic or something, and they would get free condoms. There you go. And they would have a lot of them. They would have all different types.
Assumptions are bad.
What I would say is I get amused.
I can live with it.
I get amused at men. I don't know too many men who are either fairly attractive or that women find fairly attractive or have any type of success that hasn't probably had sex with 75 or more women.
What?
Well, we did them though. It's like coming out of high school. So
what?
I don't know many. But we are so quick.
Yes,
we
come
are
on.
So quick. We are so quick to be like because she got condoms.
And because
but
she
I don't know many
people,
men.
12 people. Yeah.
I don't know many men who don't got numbers like that.
What did you call it, Ella? The disrespectful? What'd you call the lie?
Oh, respectful lie.
The respectful lie. I think, unfortunately, because of what people think, that's what makes women respectfully lie to you. Because if they tell you the honest truth, then they're judged. So then they just decide to give you the number they think you want to hear or avoid the conversation and try not to answer that at all. Because
women, just tell them none of their damn business.
Yeah. Stezo said no man wants a woman who is too experienced.
That's what I was saying. Just the knowing.
They don't want to know that you're
too experienced may be a turnoff. Now here's the thing. I'm getting closer to 40 now, right? And now, obviously, I'm in a relationship. But if I wasn't in a relationship, may have had a past. If you have a magical box, I'm gonna overlook your past.
You're gonna go past the numbers.
No, if you got high numbers on your lunchbox, I'm not wifing that. But if your box is magical, you can get away with it. I still don't know
what makes it magical.
Have you been proposed to before? Your box is magical.
That's what the
I
can't deal with him.
I was just
today.
starting there. Let me ask you another question. Do you still have like 1995 pop up periodically?
Doesn't every woman?
No, everyone doesn't. That's because all boxes. All boxes not created equal. But niggas in your box. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, man, I see you doing your thing. You look good out here in these streets, man. So tell your mama I say hi. But niggas still worry about your mama. Your box was magical.
I guess. I guess.
Oh, we got it. Listen, I believe you because
We
we're
have
hearing this
modest
from a
magic
man.
over here.
That's the point of he said, she said, to hear the male and female perspective of a topic. So I'm going to agree that there must be truth to what you're saying of magical boxes and how you tell if your box is magical. If he called and asked how your grandma doing, and Sally
if he proposed, so
and if he ever proposed to. That may be one clue that your box is magical.
That wasn't just one or
that's
two.
One of them.
There's but as a nigga ever threatened your life if you talk about leaving him?
Yes, that's fucked up. Yo.
Your pussy is too good. Stop. You need to stop right now.
If he ever said, I will choke the life out of you if you stalk you.
I'm so done. I'm so done. I wasn't even like experienced at that.
Steezo co-signing.
Because
Steezo is co-signing. Steezo said he's right. You know, there is a magical box.
There is the magical box, and we have had some clues how to get to the magical box. Hey, Kalana. Hey, me and Miss Jazz, the makeup artist of the stars. Hello, honey. So, okay.
It's hot up in here.
It is hot. I don't know if it's our sexual energy.
I've been fanning.
You're listening to IntellectualRadio.com. We're an iHeartRadio station, and we've been talking about sex.
It's not okay for us to say like pussy and dick.
That's kind of too late. You just said it all.
I'm telling you, I was over here. I was like,
we've heard the B words, the P's, and the P's.
I can scale it back.
I'm thinking to myself like, has
done it now? The no profanity zone is going all sexual today. It's church time.
I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay.
I was just thinking, have I cursed?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You didn't curse, but I did get some B's and some. We said some P's and some. But is it a bad word though?
It's my favorite word.
Let's call it the box.
The box.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the box for that. The P. What do we call that?
The D.
The D.
Right, we'll say that.
We got Tish. She said, yes, the magical box is real. She said both her kids' fathers married her. So she said she's working with that magical thing.
Mm-hmm.
We got Chris saying, yes, there's the magical box. So, yeah, we got people.
And then there's the lunch boxes. Yeah. What do you say?
Nobody's saying they got lunchbox sandboxes. Ain't nobody saying, nobody claiming that. Everybody magical.
Somebody got a lunchbox.
What's your hand? Yes, me. Does your hands up?
I have a question. Oh, my gosh, I have a question. Okay, for the guy.
Take a deep breath.
Will you marry a woman just for the magical box?
No.
Or is there some other things that are required?
There's some other things that are required, but the magical box pushes you to the point of
a blindness to the rest.
A lot of guys have been blinded by it.
Blinded by the box.
Women have been blinded by it too.
True.
Like you'll wake up 3 years later trying to figure out who it is.
How did that get with him?
The D-coma. Or you wake up 3-4 years later trying to figure out who are these little kids calling me mommy.
Oh. And where's your daddy?
You know, good.
That's the real question.
Good sex. I mean, it's like makeup. It has a lot of flaws.
Oh man, it's like winning. If you ever seen a basketball team or a football team, and they winning championships and everybody's best friends, and then when they lose, then all of a sudden now they arguing and the dude was never nothing and he was a ball hog anyway, because winning covers a lot of flaws, and that's what good sex does. If that thing is magical, it's mystical, it's a mythical creature.
But do you think it changes? I think too said it is not that good. Do you think the more box you've had, and once you've had plenty magical boxes, you stop being so tied to I got to marry this magical box?
A Rolls Royce is a Rolls Royce, no matter how many you buy, fam.
But no,
that's the difference between a Rolls Royce and a Chevy. You cut that out, bro. Don't care how many you had.
I will say that because there can be actually a difference between somebody who has, let's say, magical box, who you have good sex with. It actually can be a difference between the two.
Break it down.
Going to the playoffs?
Yeah, break it down.
Because like somebody who you have good sex with, she can have like, her box could be lunchbox, but she might be
there's an extra cookie in there.
Right, but she might be a demon on head. And she might be able to do other things. She might be open, all of that stuff.
Amazing job.
Yeah. So, she might be, or whatever, like always game for whatever. She might go with you to the strip club or the whatever. And then you might have somebody who could be even maybe a little reserved, but they got great box. And so you may just, like pounding on it.
And you know what? And that makes sense. And I'm going to chime in to tell you guys who's asking about the super producer. You're right. He's not in the room. So he has literally left the building. And that's probably why we're going all out, because we're not being told to stop. He is not in the room. So you guys are right.
And I say he fired everybody.
He fired everybody. I'm going to lose my job. I am no longer program director because I let all hell break loose. He thought he could trust me in this room for 2 hours, and we have said P's, D's, 50 hoes. We done called everybody all out there.
I have a filthy mouth. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Earl.
Sorry, Earl. I forgot about the no profanities.
I didn't see the sign. I didn't even look up.
I'm gonna still be here on Monday. I did too much around here. I'm something magical too.
Hey.
I saw you walk away, Wanda.
And the truth comes out.
We're so sorry.
Just when you was wondering,
the truth comes out. Jokes. Here we go. Okay, so how many times a week sex life healthy? How many times a week?
That's perfect. 5. That depends on the people.
That depends on 5 times a week
at least.
The women are saying 5. The she said 5. He's. What are you saying?
I'm saying every day that ends in Y. But
I know that's right. I'm with him. Really.
Every day that ends in Y.
It's okay.
I've been Jack the Ripper.
Okay.
I believe in laying towels down.
Have a week. That's
Wanda, you not winning. A man that really, not to bring my personal life in, men who really can keep up with what
I agree.
They act like they want it a lot, but do they really?
That was one of the questions I gave you. That's one of the questions. That was one of the questions I wanted you to bring up. And because women, I think we really do want it more often than men.
I think y'all do too.
And so that's one of the questions. So what kind of pressure is that for men to like be up there with a girl? Is that why they go out? Because it makes them feel like they hanging longer or something? What's really going on?
Wait.
You can see them.
They go out because they're hanging.
The way you looked at me was like, you gonna ask me to answer? Is this coming to me? Where are we going with this? Is this for me? Yes, you.
No, look, I really think it depends on for myself.
So you saying you too tired to fuck?
No, I'm saying that
I don't know if the F word can be used.
Well,
because
we've said it a few times.
All my, work like really early in the morning, so I have to get up really early in the morning. So,
I'm getting up with you.
So when you
3 a.m.
if you working like 12 hours a day, and
so you've been too tired for it.
I mean, it sounded like excuses.
No, if you're working 12, it depends on the type of sex you want to have. If you trying to go marathons, I'm sorry, I can't help you. But if you good for like 10 minutes, I'm good.
Sample.
But yeah, no, it just.
Hey, this show is over. We got stuff to do.
Doctors, I can meet you in the back.
Wait. So
I think I found it.
So women, Chu said that most women actually probably do have higher sex drive than men, but just normally don't talk about it as much.
Because they've been shamed not to talk about it. Because when we say we want it 5 times a week, now we got to be something.
They assume that you want it with a lot of people.
And you take it from anywhere, anybody, anytime. So you've shunned the women that want to tell y'all they want it.
That comes with maturity, right? As a man, when I was younger, these hoes ain't loyal. You know, that
term just came out last week. You talking about when you were younger.
But I mean,
Pretty
back
brown,
then it was, you know, they skeezers and whatever it was.
Okay.
Because we would see. Okay, so
because they were.
My man brought up a good
sex.
point earlier about if you're successful, got a little money, you see different things. And I'm in the entertainment industry, so I'm the comedy side is one thing, but I come from the music side, and so from the music side and the sports side. Oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying? There's like, these women do anything. And they do anything not just for the artist, but hey, if I get you to the artist, well, I'm gonna give me a dick suck real quick so I can get you to Ray J.
But is that because they like sex, or that's just to get to him and get money?
Trying to get opportunity.
Yeah, that's opportunity.
I mean, we talking about women every day. I'm going to work. I'm cool. I'm cooking. I'm cleaning. I'm taking care of my kids, but I need it 5 times a week, and I don't need you to
whether you work 12 hours or not.
Because I want to hear about you been to work and you got no headaches and all this stuff. I want to hear these excuses, smooches stuff.
Hey,
I need it.
Valencia. I have a beard. Don't worry about it. You're good.
Whatever, man.
What does the beard do?
I'm not with the beard game.
You know what? Look. Sometimes this is about to sound kind of messed up. Sometimes as a guy, you've hit a particular person so many times, the excitement of doing it all the time is just not there sometimes. So
really?
No, it does, and it doesn't necessarily mean you want to hit somebody else, but it's just like it's kind of like ooh, it's new. It's flashy, it's shiny, this, that, and the other. But after a while, you know, with guys, sometimes it gets to that point. Now, it doesn't mean that it's a problem like you don't want to be with her, but it's just sometimes you just
doesn't mean you want different ones.
It doesn't necessarily. I mean, for me, it doesn't mean that. It does not mean, because I actually prefer monogamy. So it doesn't mean that.
So you just take a break. You know what I mean?
So it's just like
so hold it back from him for a while.
It's not even. Listen, I'll tell you this.
Don't take a break. Just
I'll say this. The only
wait. I want to ask him.
The only time personally that I've ever done it like every day is when I was living with somebody and we had a child born. So it would, you know, so during that time. But I mean, when you single, you don't have any kids and you work and you're not really tripping then. But you know, if I was like kids, I had to get up every day.
Is stress
would probably be you probably wouldn't do, especially considering the fact that the excitement changed.
So I think what a woman gets concerned is that it's put out there that men like to have sex all the time. So now if the excitement is waned, and she may start feeling like, man, is it me? Because most men, by what they say, like sex so much that if he doesn't want it with me, then something's up.
That is the confusion when it comes to men. The stereotype really isn't that we like to have sex like all the time. Is the stereotype is that we like to have sex with multiple people. Because it's like you are excited. It's kind of like when women get a new purse. The one purse you liked all of a sudden it's not exciting. You get another one, it's just kind of like that. So that's how it is a lot of times when it comes to men. It's the excitement of this person who just walked down with a nice booty, the pants. So
isn't it your responsibility when you're in a relationship or a marriage to keep it interesting?
Absolutely.
It definitely is. I'm just telling you what the human nature is. Human nature is to get used to something. Like we all sitting here right now and we can give a care about air. But if somebody came and put a bag over our face, we'll be trying to give up an arm for it. But it's just, that's what we do. We get used to stuff. Now, women are somewhat wired, somewhat different than men. They, you know, when they relate to sex in an emotional manner, as long as you are emotional, you feel him, you're going to always want to have sex with him. But if you wasn't a woman like that, if women weren't like that, then, you know, maybe, you know, some of the same, you know, things that men have as far as just getting tired of it.
I want to bring it back to energy.
True, because energy doesn't die.
Right. And energy.
Yes.
The energy can build up, right? You're dealing with for men are visual, right? And a lot of times what women tend to forget is how visual men are. And your little bonnet, your Alibaba 40 Thieves bonnet that you go to bed with,
no lie,
every night, and your flannel pajamas are not visually stimulating to us. I hate it. Take that shit off.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to give me none.
Baba.
Right.
It becomes less magical.
Right.
Yes.
Get your house coat on.
Yes.
You have to, like,
with no belt. You just
you clenching your house coat. Somebody say, yeah. I'm gonna throw it in a circle. No, you are not, Mother Jenkins. You're not throwing anything in a circle. You're gonna throw your hip out. And you really, for men, and I'm just speaking from the men's side right now, is that women, you have turned us off with, because that happens in a relationship. I'm not saying nothing that is the worst thing in the world. I'm just saying, if you try to figure out why your man is not jumping your bones like he used to, is because you looking like news.
Look like you.
So what advice would you give?
Stay hot and listen.
And you give me a reason to stay hot. You, my man, give me a reason to stay hot.
Mm-hmm.
Take me out on dates all the time. Make sure that I know that I'm wanted, that I'm desired, and I'm gonna stay hot for you. So we both got a job to do.
We both have a job to do, which we all fail to do.
But I also think the other part is that we're too much spending too much time trying to change that is what it is. And what I mean by that is men are visual. Women, we gotta stop saying, well, I'm can wear my bonnet.
He love
me throughout.
He love me no matter
you.
how I look.
Right.
No. It's
Say
not
that.
how it works.
And
And vice versa.
Say it.
For the
That
man
is right.
who's coming home and feel like your woman is uninspired to give you some, maybe it's because you're not feeding into what she is. She's emotional, period, point blank. Come home, wash a dish, tell her to take an hour for herself and get the kids, and watch what kind of woman you have when she get from her free hour. The problem is with all of this, sex, whatever, all the topics that have come up at the end of the day, we are settling. We are not doing the work we need to do to really find true happiness.
Preach.
And we're
to keep it happy.
Yes, and to keep it. We're masking it. We're renaming happiness.
Maintaining
it. And then the communication is lost because here we are, we're talking about sex, but some men can't tell their woman they want a finger because of what something else says. So the breakdown is in the lack of wanting to be vulnerable.
You and this finger.
Because I'm just saying, this is some of the things. It's like we really need to get back in tune and stop trying to change what men are. Stop trying to change what women are. Figure out how to make it work with the way that we are. That's the easiest way, because if you're trying to change somebody, you're going to die. You know what I'm saying? You're going to disappoint yourself, the person, and y'all done wasted time and effort and money and all kinds of stuff, when at the end of the day, just be real about what you want. Women, they're visual. I made a post a couple years ago. I do it all the time. When I go to the gym, it is not because I'm trying to be a gym rat. It's not because I'm trying to stay healthy and keep my lungs going. It is for the visual. Tell people that call it shallow. Call it what you want. How I wear my hair, I can choose. It was a post in another group. They was like, would you report to your man if would you cut your hair? No, I could do what I want, but I choose to be what he prefers. And that's what we got to put the ego down and then know if that's what your man like. He told you, he's like, so the women out here, we judging them because they got 22 inches. That might be what they man like. Stop judging, man. Your business. Stay focused. Put your energy within your own relationship and do what works there.
Yep.
I just want to say, in like the messenger or something. So I don't know you that well, so I don't want to hug you.
I'm gonna tell you, my mother taught me this.
But I'm about to send you a couple of hugs because you deserve a hug.
What my mother told me when I got married, and I actually old-fashioned. It used to annoy me when my mother would tell me this. When I first got married, my mother was like, be mindful when he comes home from work, look nice.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he don't care about that. I can wear my sweatpants. I would argue with my mother about that. But my mother told me, make sure you look nice when he comes home from work. Don't jump out of your work clothes and hop into the around the house. She was like, get some cute around the house clothes. Don't put on the moo-moo when you get home from work. And I really fought my mother because I thought my mother was being old fat. That's the stuff from Mississippi. We're not doing that. Women aren't. He doesn't care about that. And as I got older, I realized what my mother was trying to tell me, what my mother was telling me to do. And so she would say, always look nice for him. She told me not to wear the bonnets to sleep. She told me, watch how you look. Now, my mother I don't do as much as my mother said, because my mother was the one that you also can wear makeup. I don't do that. But one of those staying nice, looking nice. My mother was big, and I know I'm not to say anything about other people's size, but my mother would say, keep your look nice, keep your weight down, how you look when he met you, do your best. Of course, we've had children. I have 4. Do your best to stay that way.
You don't look like you have no 4 kids.
And so, my mama. So
shout out to mama.
But I didn't appreciate that at the time. I really didn't. At the time, I really thought I would put on my sweatpants. My mother would come over and say, well, go change, put on a dress or something, wear more dresses around her. I was like, Ma, I don't care. He don't care.
And you look at it.
I'm divorced now.
Yeah.
I'm not
so, and then in that, she said that's why men ain't working to please their women, and that Wanda, those men are handling all the bills and the women. So, but she's saying that again, that goes back to the BS that our sole job is to please our man. And no, that's not what I'm saying.
That's not what I'm saying, because I had a man who took care of home,
not the sole job to please, because if you get what I said, we get caught up in which comes first, the chicken or the egg. Nobody wants to make the first move, right? So we like, okay, well, if the man did this, the woman would automatically do this. Well, if the woman would do this, the man would automatically do this. Just do your part. Right,
and make good choices
make good choices from the beginning.
Don't have no dumb butt.
And then while you fixing your hair and stuff, he has a responsibility too. Because in the beginning, if your hair was fixed and he was taking you out, and he was sending you texts,
you want to do it for him.
He need to keep doing that as well, and that both feeds all of that. It should be going back and forth.
Exactly.
So now I'm not saying that women need to just sit around and please
but
their
you need to do your part.
That's not what I'm saying. But do your part, and then you can expect that he does his, and then if he does not, then you make the choice.
But you have more likelihood of him doing his part when you do yours.
And that's why times Black people, we basically grow up like playing golf. Like it's a single sport, you on your own, and then you get married and you're kind of forced to play football. And basically football is a bunch of people doing their part, and then it works, and then you're successful. But a lot of times with us, we so worried about somebody else doing their part that we don't do our own part, and we don't see problem with that. We just like to be able to point at somebody who's doing wrong, and to what you were saying, I have a friend, she's married, and she used to always tell me that her mother would tell her the same thing. She would tell her, look, you see me, and she would be like, this is how you're gonna have to be when you get married. Like don't get fat, don't get this. You have to be similar to what you were when he married you, this, that, and the other. And and she forever has maintained, certain weight after kid, all of that stuff, got back to because of the fact that her mother,
I want to point out that you pick a good person because you'll want to do this stuff.
Right, exactly.
So don't go think that he's not doing this and he's not doing that. Then there's a whole nother problem. We're talking about when you are with the right person and trying to make things work, make a relationship last, what it takes to withstand a relationship last. I'm not saying take some idiot and then try to do all this to please him who can never be pleased and who don't do this. No, we're talking about we're two healthy people in a healthy place and trying to stay healthy.
Mission.
They on the same goal mission. I use that. I liked your sports analogy because I think I used this once in the group. She said, and please join our group if you're on Facebook. And we talk about this stuff all week long. And once my children played soccer, and my one daughter would love to be goalie. And I said, I hate that. I hate the pressure that the whole game comes down. If she misses this, If she misses and it goes in the net, then it's all on her. I was like, I wish he wouldn't play that position. And he said, no, you have the game all wrong. It's that they're a team, and the team should never let the ball get to the goalie. It should never get to that point. If everybody's doing their part,
right, it doesn't get.
If everybody's playing their position, it doesn't get to that point. And that thought about that in the terms of a relationship. The goal, if you everybody play their part, it never gets to that point of being over or losing the points or losing. If everybody plays their position to the best of their ability, and the point, and that's I think where I'm going with that.
Yeah, and the thing is that with people is that okay, so if they feel like if they're playing their part and the other person isn't playing their part, instead of just making a decision to either work on it or to leave if willing to work on it, they stay and then they become bitter. And then and then all of a sudden now it's, men or women don't do this, they don't do that. No, you should have made a different decision. Don't be mad at the other sex because you didn't have enough strength to walk away from a situation that you saw went bad.
I think we'll do a show on that because I get that so often, and that does come up in the group often, that the feeling that we're always talking about the woman's part of what the woman needs to do, and we never put a focus on what the man needs to do. And I think I'll do that November 5th when James Borshade is here, because he a little bit more eloquent from a man's position that a man will understand. So we'll have our life coach, the he said, she said life coach, certified life coach, November 5th. And we'll try to, it never goes well. I won't say that. I won't put that negative energy out there. Hopefully it goes well. Right. We can stay on topic and fully keep it to that point that we will talk from. Normally it always
was let the cat down. Like me and fam don't really get along too often.
Well, no, it's that when we tend to talk about and talk to men, we always have, well, the women, what about the women? And then when we're trying to school the women, then it's like, but the men don't. So yeah, we just
like now that if you try to stay focused on talking to women, someone always comes back, well, the men don't do this. It always flips, and then the whole conversation goes off.
The which came first, the chicken or the egg? We go back
and it's
forth,
not a competition. I don't think we're trying to. The point is not for us to compete. Let's all learn our part. Let's all know what our role is in this.
That's because we play golf. It's always a competition when you play golf.
Yeah. And that's funny.
Is life a competition? There's no way around
life is a competition. The thing is that we don't give men and women the same rules when we're growing up. And so that has us already thinking differently when we come up. What's the reason? Some rules should be different, but some of the rules we're getting different should not.
I mean, let me just say this. Me being promiscuous have two very different consequences.
Because we're teaching that.
No, we're not teaching that. It's just what it is.
That's because we're teaching that.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna give you something simple. I'm the one who gave you the baby. Mm-hmm. I can go move to New York tomorrow and have nothing to do with that child. Mm-hmm. You, on the other hand, that baby's yours. You have to take all responsibility for that baby. You have to deal with that baby's emotional health, that baby's health, that baby staying alive and not dying, because keeping a kid alive is a lot harder than it's saying. I mean, I'm a father, so like kids try to die. They do all types of stuff. Like they put stuff in their mouth. They walk out in the middle of the street. Like it's things you have to do. You have to take care of a child for life. And that is a responsibility that should be, but I'm the only one with the option to not opt into that.
Because we taught you
but that's not even.
Because we taught you that you had an option.
Yeah, but that's not even true.
No, you're not talking. You have
What's not true, O'Kara?
What
are you saying?
You don't have that option.
It's frowned upon. But it still happens.
That's not even really true. You don't. I mean, you think you had an option, but you don't. They come get you. They could put you in jail. Not only that, but if she decides she doesn't want to take care of the child, then she could put the child up for adoption. There's all kinds of things that women can do. They cannot have the child at this point. I just personally don't get it. How people, men, able-bodied, so the that conversation kind of irritates me.
Yeah,
so let me stop.
Says that we absolutely teach that. Leaving your child is a learned behavior that is not natural to a man or woman. And then we got N Dot again. She's saying that we are the I can prevent pregnancy like 90%, so why can't I get my freak on like men? So yeah, I think it's just more people saying it's one-sided. That there's lots of things you can do, but it's taught.
How we feel about it or how we
but it's
view
it's becoming acceptable, but it's really you don't have that right no more than the female.
I lost the comment, and just to go back from the pregnancy thing, Nemia said that we're making it seem like the pressure to keep the relationship is on the woman and not on. And I'm not trying to say that. We didn't equally give the male view of it.
We sat back and let y'all talk about it.
We just sat back and let them talk about it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's just, on them. It's on men. I personally think for the most part, relationships fail depending on the leadership of the man in the first place. But
I agree.
That's my opinion.
No, that's what it is. That's what it is.
The leadership of a man, what does that look like to a woman? I don't know what that...
That's the issue.
And that's the issue, because I personally think that men should dictate.
Dictate?
Yes, I do. I think that men should dictate how the relation.
You said Tate after this.
No, I'm telling the direction of the relationship.
I agree as well.
First of all, like men, we the ones who ask for marriage. So we dictate. We the one who's supposed to come up with the plan on how things are gonna look. I think don't
like the word dictate.
You may not like, but you might not like the word, but it is what it is. But I just think that men in a relationship, if men provide the direction.
So
because
the word, there it is, provide direction.
I talk to women all the time, like dating or whatever. And most of the time, the things that women want to know is what the man is thinking. He did this, what is he thinking? So if a man wants to be really effective, what he could do is just provide clarity to a woman, which is the direction of the way things are gonna go. But a lot of times men are in situations where they don't know what it is they want to do. So they have this woman over here trying to figure out what does it mean if he says this, if he does this, if he does that. And then they got some dude like me trying to tell them what's going on. But if they would just give the direction, whether it be, I just want to have sex, I want to have a relation, whatever it is, men offer everybody involved if we provide the direction of the relationship. It doesn't mean we're the boss. It just means we're providing clarity.
I think a lot of times women, we get so sidetracked with the word submission and things like that, but we get away from what the real meaning of the word is. And submission, and some of these things I've recently learned, because I'm still learning about personalities and stuff and trying to continuously improve on myself, is that you're being subjective to his mission. And the problem with so many relationships, men show up and don't even have a mission, and they want the woman to get on board. And that's where women get confused, because no one has told us clearly that a man should have the mission. We don't know what that means, what it looks like. So when a man comes forward and they tell you your mission, that's really those initial conversations that we have in the past turned those things in the game. So when a man approaches you and says he's looking for a wife, we say, oh, that's game. We don't listen. We don't wait and match his words up with his actions. And so we're out here and we're playing follow the leader, and we're going round and round because we have no point. But if a man steps up and tell you his mission and you get in on that, everybody has a part to play. And yes, he's running that. He's running that. But just like I'll use Donald Trump. He's running it, but he can't make those decisions by himself. So, exactly. He's running the free world and can't make a decision by himself. And that's, if we look at it more so like that in a relationship, maybe we can kind of get past this power struggle thing and understand all decisions need to be made as a group. And some of them you're not going to like what the big cheese put his thing down. But if you have chosen the right one, he didn't make that choice with ill intent to you.
And can I say this? Submission is a position of power.
It is.
I agree.
Yes.
For a woman who has a man who is leading his household and a man who has a mission, as you say, the submission of the queen to the king is a position of power because everybody knows that the heart of the king is in the hand of the queen.
Absolutely.
This is what this is where we have kind of messed up at, right? Because we've been so, I crack jokes. I got funny shit to say all the time. Damn it, no cussing on.
Too late. Just keep going.
I say funny stuff all the time, but to all jokes aside, in the event that we were to ever realize that we were really kings and queens, as if we had our own kingdoms, we would actually get past a lot of the issues that are trivial and the games that we were to play in our relationships. Kings listen to the queen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Point blank period.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But the queen also honored the fact that the king had the final say.
Absolutely.
Because I'm gonna tell you this. I don't care what anybody say. Man loves a woman. The person he wants the most approval from is her. Much that simple. Is her. If he has her support, he's good. So when it comes to that, a woman can influence a man if she has his heart way more than anybody else, because that is the one person out of everybody he really wants to please. Even if he acts, he tries to act tough, this, that, and the other, that's the person he wants the approval from. And so a lot of times I think that, women get caught up in trying to be it, and it's kind of like you jockeying for position when the reality is that give him the opportunity to show that he can do it, and then from that position you could really control him. It's kind of like being a kingmaker. President, you just the person who created the president. And so who's got the most power? The person who put him there or the person who's there? The person who put him there. And that's how women would prefer, or women, it would probably be better off if you looked at it in that way. Powerful person on the board because he listens to you.
And everybody's job is to protect the queen.
Absolutely. And make her happy.
If you're looking at a chessboard, protect the queen.
I just think that sometimes, it gets lost. Like, I agree, right, with what's being said here, but I feel like and I don't want to get all into the politics of society and all that kind of stuff, but, as a woman in this world, I've been burned so many times that I've made in men thinking that, right, they are leadership material, and like you said, we don't look to make sure that the words match the actions, right? And you get caught up in the emotion that you have and the potential that he has, the potential that the relationship has, right? And then you get burned. And so when a man, just say another man who is leadership material comes along, you are very, very afraid to give him the reins. You know what I mean?
No,
I do, but that's not.
And that's
not.
That's normal, but that's not his fault.
And that's valid.
And that's for you.
But that is.
But I guess the point that I want to make is that the man also has to be willing to be a little bit patient.
I agree. Okay. I am in 100% agreement with what she just said.
Well, because we talk about that all the time about the person is owning up to what your baggage is and stuff, but that there's a expiration date on that. And the expiration date on that is when you choose to start the work to heal yourself and work with that. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I am a survivor. And
so it's breast cancer awareness and domestic violence?
Okay. Unfortunately, they mix the two together. I really wish they wouldn't, but they do. And so with that, I come with a certain amount of baggage that he has to take on and possibly even try to heal. But I don't get to use that as a crutch for the rest of my relationship to put that on him. So yes, there's patience that's going to come from both sides, and that should be something that we shouldn't even have to say, because we know at this point, by the time somebody gets to us, they're wounded. They're wounded. It's just, where are they on? Have they learned their lessons? What were their part of their wounds, of their own wounds?
But you have to talk about it.
Oh yeah, you have to talk about it. You definitely have to talk about it. You would think
that there's something that we don't have to talk about because everybody knows that everybody has.
Oh yeah, you have to talk about what actually it is, because you
right.
still have to determine whether or not you want to deal with that kind of baggage. But once you know about it, then you go forward with it. You have to own it. You do.
Yes.
And that's why I feel like a lot of relationships don't work or are doomed from the beginning, because you have two broken up people who don't even know they're broken.
That's it.
And they're not discussing their brokenness. They just like, I'm broke up, you broke up, and we just gonna see if it all is gonna work together. And you just steady, like, it's always something little. You ever break a glass and like, okay, you clean up the big pieces, and then you mess your finger up on a little shard that you didn't even know was there. And that's what happens in relationships. It's a little shard we didn't even know was there. And then you, and then that little thing irritates you to the point of you want to cut your finger off. Relationships so often, that's why divorce rate is so high. People are not happy with themselves. You cannot be happy with somebody else if you are not happy with yourself.
True story. But I think, Mita, what you said is about, because I think a lot of women are in that. That's where a lot of women are, is being fearful to give the next person. But I think if we make better choices, we have to give that person the freedom to show you their plan and their leadership, but making a different choice. But all very good points. And we have reached our time. We've been listening to He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. And I'd love for you guys to tell how people can reach you if they'd like to. Okera.
On Facebook, Okera H. On Instagram, Okera H. On Twitter, Okera H. Okerah. I'm like one of very few.
But not a lot of Okera Hollises.
Not a lot of Okera Hollises out there.
I'm gonna have to get my Twitter game and all this other stuff going on. I can work the computer first before I learn how to do that. Right now, I'm on just your regular Facebook, Valencia Jackson. I'll be at we got the live coming up. See you there.
Miss Mita Vane Entertainment.
I'm Mita Vane on everything, except I don't have a Snapchat because I refuse. But like, Facebook, Twitter, everything else.
Mita Vane. And A.L. Williams, funny man.
Well, on Facebook, you can find me at my government name. That is Leonard Williams, spelled traditional brown Jewish. Leonart. And then last name is Williams. I'm sure you know how to spell that, people. And then you look for me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Hosted by L.
All right. Me, Wanda B. You find me, Wanda B, like this is Wanda B. Like, or I'm not even gonna tell you my government name. Don't put it on there. And then join our Facebook group. He Said, She Said. Please, I would appreciate it. Like Intellectual Radio. If you'd like to host your own show here at Intellectual Radio, do what we do. Inbox me about that as well. Would love to get you involved. I want you to stay tuned. I got my boys jaw jacking. Happy birthday, TC. They're coming up next. After that, we have Breaking Free at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, side streets and intersection is at 8 o'clock. I got Lady T show coming up. So I want you to come back here, the same place, same time. Every week we're here on Sunday, 2 o'clock. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye, y'all.